So today I'm gonna talk about Me Inc. What is Me Inc? There are 7 parts. The first is Rowing My Life. Second is
让我
Life.
写一下这个就行了。
Sure. Or you can screenshot of it, maybe. Second part is Life is Limited. Third part is Purpose. Fourth is Motivation. And fifth is Planning. Sixth is Time Management. And the last part is Execution, which is just doing it. And the first part is Rowing My Life. I choose a different subjects as most of people in the group did. I chose like designer and worker. So designer here is like architecture specifically here. They are more independent as they have enough knowledge to support their constructing on their buildings. You know, buildings here is like dream jobs or the things we wanted to do in the future. And they don't need to rely on someone else to build their dream houses. And the worker, they didn't have enough knowledge as the designer did, so they had to rely on someone else designing to construct. And they also need to follow what leaders asked them to do. So leaders here is like our parents. They saw like you're good at doing something and the job makes money maybe and you should do it. So but sometimes these jobs are not the dream jobs we wanted to do. So and the second part is about life is limited. So life is not as long as we imagined. I choose this graph, which is talking about like life expectancy from 1940.
Didn't they share the exact same PowerPoint on Saturday last time?
It's not exactly same. It's the one
Yeah, it's kind of exactly the same. They showed yours.
Yes. On last Saturday, Mr. Weng shared some of the slides with them. Okay. Yeah, especially this.
我不知道，因为
Yeah，因为这个 slide 就是做的特别好嘛，所以那个文老师就推荐给他们参考，所以是给他们。
OK OK
这个
OK，
Yeah，导演正好在那里，他看到了，对。
好。So basically, I choose some countries that we are familiar with to compare their like life expectancy. We saw like the highest one is Hong Kong, which is not that high as we assumed. Like, and so that time should not be wasted, and we should use our time properly so that we will not regret. Okay, and the next part is about purposes. As shown before, life is not as long as we imagine, so setting up purposes is really important. And we would have more effective life if we set up purposes and following the steps to do something specifically. And we won't hesitate when we set up purposes, things like we're just following the steps to do it and trying to reach it. Next part is about motivation. So without motivation, people can easily give up all the goals they set before. And if we don't have a positive motivation, it's hard for us to insist on doing things. So I have my own example here because I went to US like 3 years ago and I directly went to a really hard English class at that moment. And I don't know anything like teacher is talking about and I cannot interact with my classmates. That kind of like motivates me since like I wanted to know more about them. I wanted to talk to them. I don't want to be ignored or be alone, like just sitting there and listening. Basically, like these pressure and stuff kind of motivates me to work really hard on that class and get like really high score for that class. So I think that's like my motivation example. So yes. And the next part is about planning. So making plans is like playing games, which is a weird simile, but it's like beating each level's enemies and reaching like your treasures finally. You need to find the most effective path to win the game. Of course, you need to avoid any dangers, which is sometimes is like distractions, like your phones or playing games or whatever. It's kind of like distracting you to reach out like the planning steps. And you need to organize your time properly and need to prioritize your events. Okay. Next part is about time management. A person without a planning on timing cannot achieve the goal, as they will always mess up with what he needs to do. So personally, I really like time management since when I first went to US, no one was there to remind me when's the homework due date or whatever. So I have to set like time properly so that I can finish all my homework and preview a little bit for my next day's classes. And since the quarantine happens, I also made like more specific data, like the table here to organize my time. So here's just an example of my own timetable for a Saturday. So, okay, the last part is about execution. So without execution, things before just wasting time, like you're doing like the planning or the time management in the evening, and you're planning to do it next day, but you wake up so late because you stay up and you just saying like, okay, I'm just gonna give it up because I wake up so late and I don't have time to do the stuff. So if you don't really execute, you just wasting like the time, like the evening before when you're doing the time management things. And with execution, you can get more feedback and improve easier the schedule, the planning, or the purpose goal you wanted to reach. So even before, so I know this meeting stuff about 1 month ago, but even before, like when I don't know meaning, I still following the steps like the planning, the time management things, and which led me to get a really high score in my GPA for my high school and middle school. So I think personally, I'm an example of like processing these meaning steps and actually succeeded a little bit. So I think following these steps are really important. So yeah, okay, I'm done.